So, hello everyone, it's again Michi Hoyer for the final time of the day in the final Porsche 911 GT3 Cup of the day here around Watkins Glen. Yeah, as I said, for the very final time. Some more racing going on here, and I hope you really guys enjoy it for the last time around. So yeah, getting in the practice session of the next run, getting a little bit more comfortable with the car, maybe even playing around with some settings. I don't really know yet. Probably looking more towards making the car a little bit more turning, especially for turn 2 and turn 3. So, hope you guys enjoy another run on that car. Looking into the chassis here at the minute. So maybe I'm a bit too low in the front. Now just try and play around with some setup stuff. Track temperatures 27 degrees. So very similar to the races we just had today. As I'm still playing around with stuff here in the practice session. I'm simply looking for a setup that finally makes high-speed corners way better than it did before. And I'm not sure whether this one is really helping me here. But yeah, I'm just trying to go around, get back into racing and see what we can do. As I would like to welcome you guys again here for this Porsche 911 race again. So let's see if some more suspension travel is helping me here in the front. Actually feels a little bit better. But if it's really better, I'm only able to see in the end of the lap times and by general car feel. Now this looks good. Give me some space, thank you very much. I'm still understeering too much towards the barrier there. So let's see in the end though what it says lap time wise. Someone has crashed there. And I'm really trying to not lock up too hard on the fronts there. Hey William, thank you for joining me in here. I'm doing the third race of the day here in that Porsche 911 around Watkins Glen. So I hope for a good final result of the day. and hope you guys have something to enjoy. I'm at least enjoying racing that Porsche today quite a lot, I have to say. So I run it for the 3rd time already today. After Christmas, it's good to get back on racing, really, as we make it around in 148.2, which I'm quite satisfied with. As a matter of fact, I'm racing a full fuel car. It's a bit too bumpy there, and I do still think I have rear A or B blade on 1. Yep, that needs to be changed to 2. That felt a lot better to me. So I'm just hoping in general. Yeah, thank you very much, William. That's exactly the case as you said it. As I now want to see, with that setup change, whether the car feels better or not. Especially when going up this section here. I still have cold tires probably. It's very difficult decision for me at the minute, because usually a stiffer rear anti-roll bar should make the car more rolling. So oh, I broke myself. Just don't make it into the wall. That's okay. Usually a stiffer rear anti-roll bar should make the car more turning, because the rear is sliding a bit more. But in that Porsche, it's some kind of a different story, at least in those fast corner areas. It seems like a stiffer rear anti-roll bar works differently. Causes a bit more oversteer here, but gives more stability. It's a bit weird. Like, I mean, I'm often racing just Formula 1 cars, open wheelers, and now I'm racing GT3 here and iRacing quite a lot, and it feels so much different. Like, especially in those fast corners, a stiffer rear anti-roll bar makes me feel like the car is more understeery rather than oversteery, which is weird. I hope those guys see me when going up the hill. That guy at least does. Stay on the left, I go by here on the right, if you let me go. Well, that costed a little bit of time, that's for sure. So on that configuration I'm currently running, the car feels really good, and it seems like even lap time wise I'm going to get somewhere. So maybe I finally found something in the setup that works. So I'm trying to get a little more confidence. Need to be very patient here. For some reason the setting works in a complete opposite direction in that area, which is weird, but nevertheless I take it. So it's a 147.6, which is nice. right. Need to learn a bit better on that exit here. So just going through the chat quickly. So Kevin, what you ordered the parts for your PC? That's well done. Hope they arrive in time and pretty soon, so you can quickly build it and have some fun with it. Really hoping for that. So I'm looking whether a little less rear wing gives us a better lift through some corners as well. Should also give us more straight line speed. Just need to make sure that this does not mean losing ability of or losing stability at all. But if it makes us faster around some corners, that would be great, that's for sure. At least putting in the rear wing increases drag and stuff, and with this car being a front or mid-engined car, I'll let people pass so I don't harm them too much. Maybe that's the secret here. Guy's running a less rear wing than I do, and therefore the car is turning much more better. I'll probably need to deal a little bit more with oversteer, which is generally fine though. Hey David, thanks for joining me in here. So William, what would you expect to do, or what would you think makes the car more oversteery or more turning, apart from reducing the rear wing, especially when looking towards the ARBs? What would be your suggestion here? Let's see how turn 1 is now in terms of the handling. That was okay. Now the real mastering thing comes now. Really need to make that flat out during the race, which is now not easy but considerably better. We should have better straight line speed now anyway. So if the stability of the car stays the same, I would say we made a good change. To me, the overall stability stays the same, so I'm really fine with that. Now we just need to turn it around into lap time. That's a bit of a lap time gain here. Should also be a bit of a lap time gain here. Well, that's great. Could be working really good. That was close. Yeah, so whatever we changed on the set, it was really good. Now the car is working in a better performance, at least to my understanding. So I'm really happy about it. And we're finally starting to gain a little bit of lap time in the corners as well, if we would stop out braking ourselves. So let's see if I can take another click down on the rear wing. It's just the final time for a test possible before we go into qualifying session here. So let's see, but I could feel that yeah, all right. I'm just in fear now that it could be a little too less. I mean, it makes me feel quite comfortable around this section here. And probably I just pull over to let the guy pass. Just don't want to have the car spinning off. That's definitely the last thing I want to have. But in general, a car or a setup is always faster the more oversteer it is, at least to a certain point. Because if you are able to deal with the oversteer and counter steer it, counter drive it, however you want to So William, what kind of settings would you suggest on the front spring? So that's the final time up to turn 3. That was a bad entry now, but I felt like of a little bit sliding off there. As I quickly have a look into the replay, like it felt like having a little angle, so probably I take yeah, quite a bit, I think. So I think I'm gonna be fine with wing set 5. Take it 8 liters of fuel for the qualifying laps. We see 27-degree track temperature. Hey Michael Weber, thank you for joining me in here on my stream. Definitely looking forward having some racing going on. As I just received a warning of my headphones to run low. So before we definitely run out of energy, right. So, looking at the set again, just giving it one lap in order to start to feel comfortable for qualifying. That will give me a pen, I think. There you go. And now I think it's a lot hotter than in all the other sessions before. So there's definitely a change of grip conditions. Ooh, as the car is not turning at all. So it's gonna definitely be an interesting thing. There you go. So looking at the information, 42 degrees track temperature. So I think as soon as I put it into a slide, it's gonna go away. Right, going into qualifying. Quick check on the stuff. All right. And yeah, then we go to set in a qualifying lap. I really have no clue what is a good lap time now, since server conditions are pretty hot. Well, that's an off track, for example. So, need to make it a good run. And also save it a little bit more fuel. Yeah, Michael, I looked it up under info. It's 42 degrees track temperature. So I think there's hardly any grip available whatsoever. So you really need to take it easy on whatever you do. So with a hot surface, Michael, could you give me a hint on how to steer those cars? Like, no, not too much input on the wheel, I would say, if that's some sort of right. I definitely don't want to cook the front tires at all. As grip is really bad here. Anyway, it's the same for everyone as we come around final corner to make it the first of 2 laps. We missed turn 1 out a bit here. Now hammering up turn 2, and I really need to lift in that qualifying session for turn 2 and 3, so that's how you see how less grip there is available in that hot circumstances. And that's a cut lap. Good stuff. So that lap does not count whatsoever. And I definitely don't want to race it again from the back, so really need to make sure that the second lap is particularly better. At least now I have the chance to set myself good delta on the top. So I at least can say what it's required or what it's possible. If I don't crash. So that's gonna be interesting. As I said, there is a lot less grip available. So I'm not even getting a good lap in as such. So that puts me under quite a bit some pressure for lap number 2. There we go, sliding it around final lap. Still needed to lift during that lap. Anyway, trying to make it faster around here now. Oh, the car does simply not turn at all. I need to be ever so patient. So no clue about this lap being good or bad. Make it around final corner of the lap. Sliding it again. And coming around in a 150.4, which is P11. Oh dear. So, looking at the times, William, I really appreciate your willingness to help here on setup things. But I think for now it's probably the best to stick with what I do have currently, and put it in 35 liters of fuel. So that's enough. Looking at the result sheet, so with a pretty little bit better lap, I would have made it a little further. So I see Christian Schmidt here again, so definitely having a better race set, that's for sure, because now he's really taken me off over a second, and it wasn't the case in the first race. So talking to him again. Although obviously I ran too wide through that downhill right-hander, which caused that, I would say, a good half second a lap. So I'm quickly asking for contact details here for on Christian Schmidt, because I do think he is an interesting driver for me. I'm putting it back on the brake bias because I'm just a little bit too scared of throwing it away. Anyway, up to P7 we're quite equal on pace, so there's Kim Koch again ahead. Definitely gonna be interesting how we now gonna do the thing with a start. Hey Miguel, thanks for joining me here on the stream, and yeah, there is quite some close fields and some close racing going on. I put it into relative, starting from P11. I do have enough fuel. Thank you, Miguel, and I'm definitely gonna give it my best, that's for sure, as I'm waiting for the lights to turn up. And I definitely want to make it a good final race of this 3-race day today. So at least 10 seconds left until the lights pop up, and then the 2-minute join period is over. There you go, lights. Not the best start we had. Interesting. So I got yeah, and that's race over. So I'm really looking what happened there this time. Oh well, really. Yeah, just looks like, I mean, it's interesting in general that it's given me already 4 contact if I have to avoid contact in the front. And oh really, I'm already, I mean, I saw that coming for some reason. Really saw that coming. Yeah, and that's about the story what I was talking about in the other race. What goes around comes around. You know, the last time I was like pushing off someone, and this time, to my understanding, I just got squeezed. I mean, I need to give place to the guys beside me as well. So looking at the replay from cockpit view again. Just need to wait until, there you go. That's the race start. I was rolling a little bit on my grid spot, and the start in general wasn't that good. I really have to admit it, but you know, here's this, it's a where the spotter says hold your line, and then you go through there obviously, and I mean you see left cars on the left, so you have to go a little bit to the right, and then I simply get turned around by that guy. Yeah, okay, I mean from his perspective it looks like I turn in on him, but really looking where I was and where others were, so probably need to see it. Yeah, that was, no, that's not a good perspective. So probably that's a good perspective. That's me on the right hand side here. No, me it's right in the front, but yeah, I mean if I do not go to the right hand, I'm gonna be shot off by the white Porsche. Yeah, I think so too, that he could have lifted. Anyway, towing is now over. Oh no! stop adding fuel. And stop adding tires, for God's sake. Let's see if this car is just drivable or not. When I'm allowed to get going. So at least there's some racing still going on. Oh fuck. Alright. That's all learning lesson here. So the car is full, and ever full. But anyway, we're racing. Yeah, it's not just 3 minutes of repairs, William, it's also 3 minutes of pitting. And I think with those relative numbers saying there, that actually means I'm not racing them within 1 lap. So all I can do now is like finish that race in those conditions I have them right now, and learn to race in those hot conditions. Is there any way to make a pit stop and reduce fuel in the car, like pump it off? Anyone knows? Or William, different question, if I pull escape again right now, will I be able to go back racing again? Even though I have like 3 or 4 laps gap. Because it's a joke to race with 100 liters. Yeah, and probably that's a big embarrassment towards the end of a good day here in iRacing, basically. Because the first 2 races haven't been that bad, but now really I'm fighting for nothing. I'm just trying to make this one to a finish so that the iRating is not looking that bad. Can I press escape though and unfuel the car and start again without any further time delayment here? Or is that not possible as well? I mean, the car feels like a boat. I'm not even sure whether I've lost power or anything. I mean, look at the structure of the car, it's pretty bad anyway. Alright, fair enough. So we just try to stay safe and stay clean. I think we're up into P15, so not that last anymore. Seems like some further stuff has happened there at the front. So that will probably give myself somewhat more positions. Because I do not really need to care of safety rating. I think that's done anyway with how many incidents I already have. I think 6 or 7. Oh, I don't really want to know. I think I can look that up in some info though. So yeah, some guys are at the pits. I'm just trying to keep rolling and see what happens there. I mean, with a 3-minute setback, probably 1.5 laps down. So as long there is no leader somewhere around. Yeah, Deepel, you're probably right. I should have removed the tick box. So that's lessons learned for the next time at least. When trying to do some damage limitation. Because now with a full fueled car, damage is definitely done. But anyway, I'm really hoping to come away from P16 to make it to the top 13, I think, still. I'm not sure whether Nicholas Hayets is still racing. Anyway, let's see whether we jump some places at some point. Yeah, that's P15 now. So I think up to P11 no one is running anywhere. Maybe the P12 guy is still running somewhere. But apart from that, that's only me, I think. Yeah, someone needs to show me that box really, so I do not do the same mistake over and over again. So now just trying finishing that race in a good manner, despite the fact this is boring. Anyway guys, that leads the way to you being able to ask questions whatsoever. Or give me further hints. At least I'm down on my own lap times here with a broken Porsche, with a full fueled Porsche. And in that bad or hot weather conditions, I'm racing 153.2s. Let's try to adapt to the broken Porsche and make the best out of it. Yeah, Alex, you're right, I do know that. Oh yeah, William, actually that's something I would be looking for when going fully towards iRacing, especially with the McLaren MP4-30 having so much settings going on with the ECU and the ERS settings, because actually that's the next step when leaving B license, or when getting B license and A license, is to race the Formula 1 car. Because that's usually the car I am best in with. So I'm really looking for a button box that either works with the G29 or has quite a long USB cable, so I can plug it into the PC and pull it up behind the desk. Yeah, I would be very happy with a button box, I think. A good solid one though. One that has a good performance record, so less malfunctioning. As with all those damages on the car just feels right. I mean, we're now up in P13. So the P12 guy is still running, but a lap ahead. So if no one crashes out, P13 is the maximum over here. But I might be lucky with some high iRacing people probably, or hopefully, being out of that race, so that my rating does not drop too hard. Yeah, as long as the button box does not cause any further game crashes or anything, I'm particularly happy with it. I mean, I'm a fan of having at least a button set for everything, even if it's just there or not in use, like in ignition switch or wiper switch or whatever. But just have it in case you need it. So I'm definitely in favor. I mean, look at my rFactor 2 screen with all those widgets being set from track map plugin, that is. I do not need the information of my current real position or the amount of fuel left in minutes, or the slipstream bar at the top when being in the lead, but just in case I need it, I have it. So that's my philosophy. Yeah, you now can start arguing you do not have display bars like that in a real race car, or you only have a limited amount of space on the dash, as you can see it here in the Porsche, so you can't display everything anyway. But as I said in the stream today on Assetto Corsa, the iRacing or the sim racing softwares give you some possibility of personalization. Either this is moving seats, either this is racing in TV cam, or if that is having additional overlay or button boxes that usually do not exist in any car. Like, a button box does not exist in a Formula 1 car, really, does it? Apart from the wheel, there is a tiny few buttons which are not really used during the race. But here on a desk, you can have it as a button box. So if sim racing offers you that possibility, or that way of having stuff done, then why not make use of it if it makes it useful for you, or if it makes you faster in any way. That's an off track, so that's now 5 incidents counted towards my safety rating, so I could still make that a little plus today in that race if I do no further cutting or anything. I agree with you, Alex, and to be fair, on that realism point of view, currently there are some competitions going on, like the F1 esports competition I would like to point at. You know, those guys are considered to be one of the best sim racers around the globe, racing or winning Formula 1 2017. I mean, a German guy called Sven Söner raced in it and got 3rd overall in the end. He's doing iRacing lately as well. He's surely not a bad sim racer, not at all. But, you know, calling those guys one of the best sim racers around the globe to be tested on something that's far away from being realistic. I mean, yes, with sim racing you try to replicate reality and stuff, but at some point it comes to a stop or it hits a barrier, and for some people that starts quite early with a button box, or for you, Alex, probably with a button to let go your car 2 corners earlier, the corner you're suffering all the time. But on the other hand, other people say like, well, still F1 2017 is some sort of realistic. So, I don't really know. So I still think something has happened here, as I see chat messages at the top. We're still running in P13, but the P11 guy, either that guy came closer, no, a P11 guy jumped a place, so that could actually mean someone else DNF'd and we gain another place. Yeah, Alex, I think that's a good trade, and I think that's what real Formula 1 teams are able to do with rFactor Pro or something. To put in the car into a specific kind of situation ever and ever again, and hitting a reset reset button, and everything starts all over again. So yeah, we're finally in P12, and I do think that lap times are some sort of consistent despite all the damage going on, as we are in our penultimate lap. These leaders are on the final lap already now, so we gained the place just in the right moment. So yeah, it's definitely the weight that makes the car so slow, apart from the damage obviously. But I'm feeling somewhat confident here on this car at the minute. As you can see, I can finally start pushing it a bit. And clearly talking to you guys is some fun to me at the minute. As I'm still casually cruising around Watkins Glen to bring this final race of the day to a finish. Not into the barrier though, but into the checkered flag, which we're gonna take in one lap, since we see the white flag now coming out for us. Final time up the hill. There you go, easy on the steering. Will gain us some speed as I make the bar a little bit more green. Happily I cannot run out of fuel this time, can I? And I still do not like iRacing too much, like I really need to be honest with you guys, but currently I'm having some fun with that car track combination, because I think it enables great racing, it leaves some margin for error, unlike Snetterton, where the track was really thin, like not much room to run wide or anything, and here you at least have some track width where you can actually do something racing wise. Snetterton is a really narrow place to race that car anyway. So I hope it was not too boring for you guys, but I think we had a kind of little good conversation as I make it round final corner to then so as you guys are talking so much on the GTE, I definitely have to give it a go and give it a spin at some point. Oh yeah, Bertus, that's a good point as well. So race is over. My friend, I don't want to call him friend, just Christian Smith, is in third position. I think he's considerably happy with that. I'm quickly asking for contact again. As I hear my cat sitting at the window. So, well, it would be great if I have contact from him. So, I quickly quit this session and then, oh wait, before that, yeah, I'm coming. I do have a mosquito fence here in the window, and if the cat is impatient, there is no mosquito fence in summer anymore, because then the cat has destroyed it by then. There you go. So, before going towards eBay, as William suggested, that is the result of today's race, or of the race we just did. So looking for sim racing button box. As we see, we were running, I think in the secondary split we ran today, that race. I think now my browser has died or something. So there you go. Probably I like that one with all those switches here, I have to say. So let's see what that is. Quite some interesting button box cores, especially with those spinning switches. Not sure whether they really work though. So I'm gonna give this definitely a try at some point. Interesting. I'm gonna get message from another guy. Looking at my replays. Oh, not my replays. My series results, as I'm somewhat impatient to see what kind of impact we had in that race. So I think it was quite a bit good strength of field. So we were racing in the tops, not in the top split, but in the secondary split, and here we are, -8, -004. Well, yeah, could have been worse. couldn't be. But anyway, guys, I think that was some minor fun, though. Could have been a lot better. But anyway, guys, that's it from me for today. Hope you had quite some interesting time. I know I kept you quite busy today here on my stream on my channel. This is going to be more the case for the next couple of 10 days or something. I will be live on the Simpit channel as well again. Just need to dial in something different. Have some ideas going on. So if you see what you, if you like what you see, I would be grateful and really appreciate if you like, share, and subscribe. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice evening, and see you there next time.